Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I'm sorry for being late. Shall we chant one round of japa with Srila Prabhupada?
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamne Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. श्रीमद् भगवद गीता as it is की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for all session. Let us recite Bhagavad Gita Sloka. We are reciting from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 12, text 2. Yes, Mataji, Usha Mataji, go ahead. And anyone else who needs to go first, please raise your hand. One second. Oh. Yes, Mataji. Usha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Medha, Hare Krishna.
Sri Bhagavanu Vacha Maya Vesya Mano Ye Mam Nitya Yukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayopetas Deme Yukta Tamamataha. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect."
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Go ahead,
Sri
Mataji.
Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Vesya Manoye Mam Nitya Yukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayopetas Te Me Yukta Tamamataha. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect." Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Saujanya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam Sarguru Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha Maya Vesha Manoye Mam Nityayukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayopetas Te Me Yukta Tamamata. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect."
Yeah. Anyone else? So we'll just go in order now. Achinta Dev Prabhu, Aditi Lata Mataji, Arunita.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Veshya Mano Ye Mam Nitya Yukta Upashate Shraddhaya Parayopetas Te Me Yukta Tamamata. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be the most perfect." Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Arunita.
Hare Krishna Mataji,
Hare Krishna.
Shri Bhagavana Vacha, Maya Vesha Manaye Mam Nityayukta Basate, Shraddhaya Paripetas, Teme Yukta Tamamata. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most."
Yes, thank you. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, later?
No, Mataji, I can read.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please repeat. Sri Bhagavanu Vacha
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha
Maya Vesha Manoye Mam
Maya Vaisha Manoye Mam
Nitya Yukta Upasate
Nitya Yukta Upasate
Shraddhaya Parayopetas
Shraddhaya Paroyopetas
Te Te Me Yukta Tamamataha.
Te Me Yukta Tamamataha. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Those who fix their mind on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect." Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Next, Isha Krishna Shish Madhavan Rasapriya.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha Maya Vesha Manoye Mam Nityayukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayuktetas Teme Yukta Tamamataha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect."
Krishna Shish.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha Maya Vishamanam Yemam Nityayukta Upasade Shraddhaya Paryopetas Teme Yukta Tamamata. Supreme Personality of God itself. Those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect.
Madhavan.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha Maya vesya mano ye mam nityayukta upasate saddhaya parayopetas tenayukta tamamata. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on members of farm and are always engaged in worshiping with great and transcendent faith are considered by me to be most perfect.
Rasapriya.
श्रीभगवानुवाच मया वेश्य मनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेतास्ते मे युक्ता तमोमताः. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect.
Neelambari Radha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha Mayaveshya Mano Ye Mam Nitya Yukta Upashate Shraddhyaya Pariyupati Upayo Shraddhaya Para Yopetash Tame Yukta Tamo Mataha. Translation: The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be the most perfect. Thank you,
Thank you,
Mataji.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Priyanka Haripriya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, all glory to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha Maya Veshya Mano Ye Mam Nityayukta Upasate Shraddhaya Paryopetas Teme Yukta Tamam Mataha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Okay, did everyone recite? Narsimha Leela Chaitanya Prabhu and family, please recite.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam Shri Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. All glories to Shri Prabhupada.
Sri Bhagavanuvacha Mayavashya Mano Ye Mam Nityayukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayopeta Teme Yukta Tamamata. Translation by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with a great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect.
Yes.
Thank you. Others are not.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so everyone recited, right? I'll also recite Bhagavad Gita chapter 12 text 2. Sri Bhagavanu Vacha Maya Vesha Mano Ye Mam Nitya Yukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayopetas Te Me Yukta Tamamataha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my transcendental form and are always, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect. Let's read Srimad Bhagavatam. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 13, The Dynasty of King Nimi. So, we came down from King Nimi. So, Nimi didn't want to take a material body. Yes, after he gave up, or after he was cursed to give up his body by Vashishta Muni, King Nimi didn't want another material body, and he gave reasons. So then the demigods, the rishis, the sages, the priests who had performed the sacrifice for Nimi, they prayed to the demigods to return Maharaj Nimi to his body, but Maharaj Nimi said, no, I don't want. So then the demigod said, no problem. Let Maharaj Nimi live without a material body. Let him live in a spiritual body as a personal associate of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And according to his desire, let him be manifest or unmanifest to common materially embodied people. So the demigods, so another point here is the demigods are actually quite powerful. We should understand that. Okay. So the demigod said, okay, no problem. He doesn't have to take on a material body. Let him live in a spiritual body. And according to his will, he can either show himself to others or he can remain uh, just like the Supreme Lord, right? When the Lord, to his devotees, he can show himself, although he is present, Naham Prakasha Sarvasya Yogamaya Samavrita. So I am covered by my Yogamaya, the Supreme Lord says. So by the mercy of the Lord, when someone is a pure devotee, he can also be empowered like the Lord. Now, so he is in his spiritual body and he may either be manifest or he may not be manifest to the ordinary people, to the embodied people. So King Nimi got that benediction from the demigods. Thereafter, to save the people from the danger of an unregulated government, so now Maharaj Nimi was not visible to everyone, so they are not seeing a king. So the sages churned Maharaj Nimi's material body, from which, as a result, a son was born. So Maharaj Nimi himself was not visible, but they churned his material body. They had preserved his body, isn't it, in balms, various fragrant balms and ointments. They had saved the body, preserved the body. Now they churned that body and a boy was born. Because he was born in an unusual way, this boy was called Janaka. Okay, this is how Janaka was born from, by churning the body of Nimi. And he had other names also. He's also called Mithila and he's called Vaideha. Why is he called Janaka? Because of being born in an unusual way, not by the regular normal way, right? Taking birth from a mother, but he came in an unusual way. He's called Janaka. Then because he's born from the dead body of the father, he's called Vaideha. Deha means body, right? So born from the dead body of the father. So he's called Vaideha. And why is he called Mithila? Because he's born by Mathna, right? Mathna is like churning. So he's born by churning the dead body of the father's material body. Because of that churning he's born, he's called Mithila. Okay? Janaka, because unusual birth. Ja means birth. Janaka, unusual birth, so Janaka. Vaideha, because born from the dead body of the father, born from a dead body, right? So Vaideha. And Mithila because Isha, check. Because he's born by churning the body, like this. So he got three names. Who is this? This is the son born by churning the material body of King Nimi. O King Parikshit, from Mithila, Mithila means this Janaka or Mithila or Vaideha, right? From Mithila came a son named Udavasu, from Udavasu Nandivardhana, from Nandivardhana Suketu, and from Suketu Devarata. So one after another. We are talking about the dynasty of Nimi. So these are all the kings, one after another. From Devarata came a son named Brihadratha, from Brihadratha Mahavirya, and then from Mahavirya Sudhriti, from Sudhriti Drishtaketu, and from Drishtaketu Haryashva. From Haryashva Maru was born. The son of Maru is Pratipaka, son of Pratipaka is Kritaratha, from Kritaratha Devamida. From Devamida Vishruta, from Vishruta Mahadriti. From Mahadriti Kritirata, from Kritirata Maharoma, from Maharoma Swarnaroma, and from Swarnaroma Hraswaroma. Huh? 1 second. Yeah, if it comes out clean. Okay. Too early though. Okay. Yeah. From Hraswaroma came a son named Kshiradhvaja. In churning, how life comes from a dead matter. Of course, life does not come from a dead matter. It's like favorable atmosphere into which the spirit soul is sent. Life doesn't come from matter. Even when you take, you can say, like from the father's semen is matter. How is the spirit soul coming in the semen? Right? Because that's a favorable atmosphere for the spirit soul. So the spirit soul enters that favorable atmosphere. So life is not coming from matter, life is coming from life, but the spirit soul takes advantage of the favorable atmosphere. So by churning the dead body, a favorable atmosphere was created, or a favorable atmosphere was created to attract a suitable living entity for that particular post. Okay, Mataji. Okay. So next, let's continue. So from Hraswa Roma, we read. Yeah, it's clean. Both are, you checked both? Okay. All right. So Hraswa Roma, from Hraswa Roma came, actually it still feels sticky, Isha. From Hraswa Roma came a son named Kshiradhvaja, also called Janaka. It's kind of still. 10 minutes more maybe. From Hraswaroma came a son named Kshiradhvaja, also called Janaka. When Kshiradhvaja was plowing a field, so this is Janaka also, right? Not that they are all having a unusual birth, but they are born from that Janaka. So in that line, they are all Janaka. So here Kshiradhvaja is the son of Hraswaroma, and Kshiradhvaja's found Sita Devi while he was plowing the field, and Sita Devi is the consort of Lord Ramchandra. Why is he called Kshiradhvaja? Shira means plowshare, right? Plow. So because he found Sita Devi by plowing, so he's called Kshiradhvaja. Next, the son of Kshiradhvaja. So we are reading about the dynasty. So we're going further because we already read about Lord Ramchandra and like that. So from Kshiradhvaja was Kushadhvaja. So who's Kshiradhvaja? Kshiradhvaja is Janaka, Sita Devi's father. From Kshiradhvaja you have Kushadhvaja. And the son of Kushadhvaja is Dharmadhvaja, who had two sons, Kritadhvaja and Mitadhvaja. O Maharaj Parikshit, the son of Kritadhvaja was Keshidhvaja, the son of Mitadhvaja was Khandikya, the son of Kritadhvaja was expert in spiritual knowledge, and son of Mitadhvaja was expert in Vedic ritualistic ceremonies. Khandikya fled in fear of Keshidhvaja, the son of Keshidhvaja was Bhanuman, and the son of Bhanuman was Shatadyumna. So that's where we stopped yesterday. Let me quickly go through if there's a purport. No purport. Okay. So we're just going down on the line from Janaka Maharaj. So Janaka Maharaj's son is Kushadhvaja. His brother, right? Kushadhvaja is the brother of Janak Maharaj, right? Janak Maharaj had two daughters, and his brother also had two daughters. But yeah, I'm not clear on this, but we'll just read. So the son of Kshiradhvaja was Kushadhvaja, and son of Kushadhvaja was King Dharmadhvaja. And Dharmadhvaja had two sons, Kritadhvaja and Mitadhvaja. So Kritadhvaja had a son Keshidhvaja, Mitadhvaja had a son Khandikya. And Kritadhvaja, so these are the fathers, Kritadhvaja and Mitadhvaja. Kritadhvaja is expert in spiritual knowledge, Mitadhvaja is expert in ritualistic ceremonies. So Kritadhvaja's son Keshidhvaja or Mitadhvaja's son Khandikya fled in fear of Vali and Sugriva. Sugriva running away out of fear of Vali, something like that. Brothers, of course, different fathers. You can say cousins. So Khandikya fled in fear of Keshidwaja. The son of Keshidwaja was Bhanuman, and the son of Bhanuman was Shatadyumna. Because Khandikya fled, so now remaining there's Keshidwaja left, and his son is Bhanuman. Bhanuman's son is Shatadyumna. Now text 22. Whose turn is it today? Is it Usha Mataji's turn? Veda and Usha Mataji, do you remember? I think it's your turn. Or maybe they're not able to read, probably.
I missed
Mataji.
yesterday, Mataji, so I don't know. But if it's my turn, I'm able to read today.
Yeah, go ahead, Mataji. Shuchistu tanayastasmat sanadvajah suto bhavat urjaketu sanadvajad ajota purujit sutaha.
The son of Satyadumna was named Suchi. From Suchi, Sandvaja was born, and from Sandvaja came a son named Urjaketu. The son of Urjaketu was Aja, and the son of Aja was Purujit. Thank you.
So son of Shatadyumna was Suchi. Suchi's son is Sanadvaja. Sanadvaja's son is Urjaketu. Urjaketu's son Aja. Aja's son Purujit. अरिष्टनेमिस्तस्यापि श्रुतायुस्तत्सु पार्श्वकः ततश्चित्ररथो यस्य क्षेमाधिर्मिथिलाधिपः. Medha is there?
No, Mataji, sorry, she went to school.
Yeah. Nilambari Radha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Sorry, my voice is bad.
Only short, one line.
The son of Purujit was Arishtanemi, and his son was Shrutayu. Shrutayu begot a son named Shuparshwaka, and Shuparshwaka begot Chitraratha. The son of Chitraratha was Shemadhi, who became the king of Mithila. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. So the son of Purujit. So this is several generations after Janaka Maharaj. Yes, Sitaji's father. So the son of Purujit is Arishtanemi. Arishtanemi's son is Shrutayu. Shrutayu's son is Suparshwaka. Suparshwaka's son is Chitraratha. Chitraratha's son is Kshemadi. Kshemadi's son is Mithila. Again Mithila, like the original. Next. Narsimhalila Chaitanya Prabhu. Tasmat samarathastasya sutah satyarathastataha asid upagurus tasmad upaguptogni sambhavaha.
Krishna Mataji. The son of Krishnamati was Samaratha, and his son was Satyaratha. The son of Satyaratha was Upaguru, and the son of Upaguru was Upagupta, and a partial expansion of the fire. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Kshemadi's son Samaratha, Samaratha's son Satyaratha, Satyaratha's son Upaguru, Upaguru's son Upagupta, and Upagupta is a partial expansion of the fire god. Next. वस्वनन्तोऽथ तत्पुत्रो युयुधो यत्सुभाषणः श्रुतस्ततो जयस्तस्माद् विजयोऽस्मादृतः सुतः.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Spurti.
The son of Upagupta was Vaswanta. The son of Vaswananta was Yuyudha. The son of Yuyudha was Subhasana, and the son of Subhasana was Shruti. The son of Shruti was Jaya, from whom came the Vijaya. The son of Vijaya was Rita.
Yes, thank you. Hare Krishna. The son of Upagupta was Vaswananta. Vaswananta's son Yuyudha. Yuyudha's son Subhashana. Subhashana's son Shruta. Shruta's son Jaya. Jaya's son Vijaya. Vijaya's son Rita. So many generations. Next. Shunakastatsuto jagye vitahavyo dhritistataha bahulashvo dhritistasya kritir asya mahavashi. Prabhuji, Mataji.
Mataji, Hare Krishna. The son of Rita was Sunaka. The son of Sunaka was Vitahavya. The son of Vitahavya was Dhriti. And the son of Dhriti was Bahulaswa. The son of Bahulaswa was Kriti. And his son was Mahavasi.
So Rita's son Shunaka, Shunaka's son Vitahavya, Vitahavya's son Dhriti, Dhriti's son Bahulashva, Bahulashva's son Kriti, Kriti's son Mahavashi. Next. एते वै मैथिला राजन् आत्मविद्या विशारदाः योगेश्वरा प्रसादेन द्वन्द्वैर्मुक्ता गृहेष्वपि. Mataji is there?
No, Mataji. She's not.
Okay, she's not. And then P. Priyanka Haripriya Mataji.
Shukdev Goswami said, "My dear King Parikshit, all the kings of the dynasty of Mithila were completely in knowledge of their spiritual identity. Therefore, even those staying at home, they were liberated from the duality of material existence."
Thank you, Mataji. So now Sukadeva Goswami is saying, my dear Parikshit, all the kings of the dynasty of Mithila is who? The son of Nimi, right? All the kings of the dynasty of Mithila were completely in knowledge of their spiritual identity. So they were all Rajarshis and all self-realized souls. They were in complete knowledge of their spiritual identity, who they were, like that. Therefore, even though staying at home, they were liberated from the duality of material existence. Purport. Saujanya Mataji. Are you driving? We will just go to the next person. Aditi Lata Mataji, Arunita or Prabhuji.
Mataji, Arunita is reading.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Purport.
This material world is called
Dvaita
or duality. The Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya 4.176 says, Dvaita Bhalabhadra Jana.
Dvaite Bhadra Bhadra Jnana Sabha Manodharma Ei Bhalo Ei Manda Ei Sabha Brahma.
In the world of duality, that is to say, the material world, so-called goodness and badness are both the same. Therefore, in this world, to distinguish between good and badness, happiness and distress, is meaningless, because they are both mental concoctions.
Manodharma.
Because everything here is miserable and troublesome. To create an artificial situation and pretend it is to be full of happiness by simply illusion. The liberated person, being above the influence of the three modes of material nature, is unaffected by such dualities in all circumstances. He remains Krishna conscious by tolerating all so-called happiness and distress. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita.
14. Mataji is going to read? Or Prabhuji?
Aditi is driving Mataji to the office. Can she read tomorrow?
Yeah. Are you able to read the
Yes,
second half?
Yeah, I can. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, O scion of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Those who are liberated, being on the transcendental platform of rendering service to the Lord, do not care about so-called happiness and distress. They know that these are like changed seasons, which are perceivable by contact with the material body. Happiness and distress come and go. Therefore, a Pandita, a learned man, is not concerned with them. As it is said, Gatasan aga
Gatasun agatasumscha nanu shochanti pandita.
The body is dead from the very beginning because it is a lump of matter. It has no feelings of happiness and distress. Because the soul within the body is the bodily concept of life, he suffers happiness and distress, but these come and go. It is understood herewith that the kings born in the dynasty of Mithila were all liberated persons, unaffected by the so-called happiness and distress of this world.
Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 9th canto, 13th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Dynasty of Maharaj Nimi. So we come to the conclusion of this chapter. So this last verse, okay, here Srila Prabhupada quotes Bhagavad Gita 2:14, Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhada agama payano nityas tam stitikshasva bharata. So happiness and distress, they come and go like winter and summer seasons. So what can we do? Now it's winter season, it's cold. Can we fight against it? You just have to tolerate it, but you cannot stop your dharma. You have to continue on with your duties, right? Whether you have to go to work, or you have to cook, or you go to school, or you chant Hare Krishna, you rise early in the morning. We cannot stop all these activities because it's cold, it is not comfortable. We still have to do our duties, right? So that's when you will actually become purified, when not being disturbed by either happiness or distress, you still continue your duties. Especially the highest duty is to do bhakti, but not being disturbed by, because happiness and distress, like that verse 214 is saying, matra sparshastu. Matra means matra sparshastu. So sense objects, right? Matras means sense objects. So when the senses come in touch, sparsha, right? When the senses come in touch with the sense objects, that creates a feeling of happiness and distress. Who is experiencing it? Am I experiencing it? But happiness and distress is, it is a material. Happiness and distress, happiness and distress, where are you experiencing it? Where do you experience happiness and distress? In the mind, in the subtle body. So it is still in the body. It is not for the spirit soul. Whether it is material happiness or material distress, it is not affecting the spirit soul. But still I'm experiencing, think about it. The body is matter. I am a spirit soul. Matter is dead. Can I say that this phone experiences happiness and distress? No, because it is dead. It's matter. So my body is also matter. My body is not conscious. I am conscious, but the body is not conscious. So body cannot experience happiness and distress because it is matter. And I am a spirit soul. Spirit soul is transcendental to matter, right? So who is it that is experiencing this happiness and distress? Because this happiness and distress is happening in the subtle body. It is happening in the body. But how can body experience? Who is it that is experiencing it? Yeah, it is the conditioned spirit soul experiencing it. And why he is experiencing? He is a conscious being. Why he is experiencing the things happening in the dull body, dead body? Because he has entered into this body. He has entered means he is identifying himself with this body. He is thinking he is this body. Why is he thinking he is this body? Because he is now under the influence of the material energy, Maya. Under the influence of material energy, Maya, he forgot his position as a spirit soul. Okay? Then the next question is, How did he come under the influence of this Maya? Because of avidya. Avidya. What is that avidya? Avidya means he forgot that he is a spirit soul. Okay. Avidya means he forgot that he is a spirit soul. Why did he forget that he is a spirit soul? So there's 2 times Maya is covering him, right? So the very beginning is when he is turned away from the absolute truth, Paratattvam. Paratattva jnana abhava. Abhava means absence. Absence of knowledge of the absolute truth. Because of that, he becomes vulnerable to Maya. So when we don't have this knowledge of the absolute truth, when we are forgetful of the absolute truth, then Maya captures us. Then we are in avidya. What is avidya made of? Avidya is made up of the modes of passion and ignorance. So avidya is also material. Then when you are in this avidya, what is the result? When Maya captures you, what happens? You forget that you are a spirit soul. You even forget, because when you are in vidya, you recognize that you are a spirit soul. But when avidya covers you, avidya is from the modes of passion and ignorance. Vidya is from the mode of goodness. But by the influence of avidya, you forget that you are spirit soul. When you forget that you are a spirit soul, then Maya gives you the subtle and gross bodies. When you get these subtle and gross bodies, now you identify yourself with those bodies and you enter into dualities. Right? When you identify yourself with this body, then you will think, this is my friend, this is my enemy, this is cold, this is hot, I don't like this, I like that. All these are dualities. So what is the root cause of all these dualities? So you see how step by step the free living entity has come under the grip of Maya, and he enters into the gross and subtle bodies and identifies himself with this body. And when he identifies himself with the body, that's when he suffers happiness and distress. Actually, he has nothing to do with the material body. Naturally, he is not affected by happiness or distress also. So anyone who is aspiring for spiritual progress, what should he do? He should not give importance to material happiness and distress. That's the whole point. In the world of duality, that means in this material world, so-called happiness and or so-called goodness and badness are both the same. This is simply a mental concoction. Ei bhalo, ei manda, ei saba brahma. Right? Bhadra, abhadra, jnana, saba manodharma. Chaitanya Charitamrita tells us. Thinking that this is auspicious, this is inauspicious, that is simply a mental concoction. Nothing is auspicious here. Everything is inauspicious. Without Krishna consciousness, everything is inauspicious. This is good and this is not good. This is simply your mental concoction. Rama, it's your illusion. Everything is inauspicious, everything is miserable and troublesome. So then if you're trying to create some happiness artificially, that happiness is simply illusion. There is no happiness. So anyone who is liberated, he is above the influence of the 3 modes. He is above material happiness and distress. So what will he do if there is any happiness or distress that comes? He understands I've got nothing to do with this happiness and distress. I'm not this body. He simply tolerates. That's the thing. He tolerates. It's not that he does not get, but even if it comes to him, he simply tolerates it. And by that, he defeats, right? He transcends it. Tam stitikshasva bharata. So with that, we come to the end of this chapter, and we will begin with a new chapter tomorrow, King Pururava, enchanted by Urvashi. So now we will be reading about the Chandra Vamsa. So we've been reading about the Surya Vamsa. Now we'll read about the Chandra Vamsa. So I'll bookmark this for tomorrow. And let's quickly read a little bit of Bhagavad Gita and Leelamrita, since it's just 6:30 now, or you're 8 o'clock, just 5 minutes. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, introduction, continuation. Looks like I didn't bookmark. Oh, I didn't read yesterday. That's what. Okay. Yeah, so we read this already the other day, that you have to hear, right? Tad vijnanartham sagurumeva abhigachet. One must approach a person who's already in the practice, and then you have to bring the mind back. Yes. Then we'll read, I think we read this also. Mam hi parthavya pashritya ye pisyu papayo nayaha striyo vaishyastata shudrastepi anti param gatim. Kim punar brahmana punya bhakta rajarshayastata anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajasvamam. Yeah. So the Lord is saying it does not matter. So this Krishna consciousness is for everyone. Materially, you may be of any position, it does not matter. Anyone can actually change his consciousness from material consciousness to spiritual consciousness by hearing from the right person who's actually practicing it. Right? If one adopts the principles enunciated in Bhagavad Gita, no matter who he is, from whichever background, woman, Brahmana, Shudra, merchant, whoever, they can all perfect their lives. In conclusion, Bhagavad Gita is a transcendental literature which one should read very carefully. Gita Shastram idam punyam yaha pathet prayatah puman. If one properly follows the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, one can be freed from all the miseries and anxieties of life. Bhaya shokadi varjitaha. One will be freed from all fears in this life, and one's next life will be spiritual. That's from Gita Mahatmya. There is also a further advantage. Advantage of what? Of studying Gita. गीताध्यायनशीलस्य प्राणायामपरस्य च नैव सन्ति हि पापानि पूर्वजन्मकृतानि च. If one reads Bhagavad Gita very sincerely and with all seriousness, then by the grace of the Lord, the reactions of his past misdeeds will not act upon him. Okay? If you simply read Bhagavad Gita with all seriousness, very sincerely, just read with all seriousness, then by the Lord's grace, your past karma, means especially bad karma, right? The reactions of past misdeeds will not act upon him. Gita Mahatmya 2. The Lord says very loudly in the last portion of Bhagavad Gita 1866, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Thus the Lord takes all responsibility for one who surrenders unto him, and he indemnifies such a person against all reactions of sins. Mala nirmochanam pumsam jalasnanam dine dine sakrit gitamrita snanam samsara malanashanam. One may cleanse himself daily by taking a bath in water, but if one takes a bath even once in the sacred Ganges water of Bhagavad Gita, for him the dirt of material life is altogether vanquished. Right? Even once, if you take bath in the Bhagavad Gita, sacred Ganges water of Bhagavad Gita, then all dirt is cleansed once and for all. Gita Sugita Kartavya Kim Anyai Shastra Vistarai Yasvayam Padmanabhasya Mukha Padmadvinihsrita. Because Bhagavad Gita is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one need not read any other Vedic literature. One need only attentively and regularly hear and read Bhagavad Gita. In the present age, people are so absorbed in mundane activities that it is not possible for them to read all the Vedic literatures. But this is not necessary. This one book, Bhagavad Gita, will suffice because it is the essence of all Vedic literatures, and especially because it is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we will continue the rest tomorrow, Gita Mahatmya 4. I'll read one paragraph of Srila Prabhupada's Leelamrita also. Srila Prabhupada Leelamrita. Continuation. So we started a new chapter. We'll just start today. Room 307 was never meant for use as a residence or ashram or lecture hall. It was only a small, narrow office without furniture or a telephone. Its door held a large pane of frosted glass, the kind common in old offices. Above the door was a glass-paned transom. Prabhupada placed his blankets on the floor before his metal footlocker, which now became a makeshift desk where he wrote. He slept on the floor. There were no facilities here for cooking or even for bathing, so daily he had to walk to Dr. Mishra's apartment. When he had lived in room 501 at Dr. Mishra's yoga ashram, Dr. Mishra had financed his needs. But now Prabhupada was on his own, and whatever he could raise by selling his books, he would have to use for his daily maintenance and for the monthly rent of $72. He noted that for a little powdered chili, the West End superette charged 25 cents. 10 times what he would have paid in India. He had no guaranteed income. His expenses had increased and his physical comforts had reduced, but at least he had his own place. Now he was free to preach as he liked. He had come to America to speak about Krishna, and even from the beginning he had found the opportunity to do so, whether at an informal get-together in the Agarwal's living room or before a formal gathering at the Butler Lions Club, Dr. Norman Brown's Sanskrit class, Dr. Mishra's Yoga Society, or the Tagore Society. But he did not attach much importance to lecturing, where the people who gathered would hear him only once. This was the main reason he wanted his own building in New York, so that people could come regularly, chant Hare Krishna, take prasadam in his company, and hear him speak from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So it's important that we hear regularly. We heard it twice today, once in Bhagavad Gita's introduction and again in Leelamrita, right? Like, you know, when you want to cut the wood, what do? With the axe, you, you may not be able to cut it once, but you keep hitting on the same spot again and again and again. Each time you hit, you may not see a big difference right away, but it is acting little by little. And then finally, with the same intensity you're hitting, not that you are making it harder and harder, but same steady intensity you're hitting regularly. And at one point, the wood breaks into two. So like that, regularly you have to keep hearing, chanting and hearing Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. By that, one fine day, our Maya is all removed. Srila Prabhupada gives another example of, you put money in your piggy bank, right? So you put 1 cent each day, 1 cent, 1 cent, one, and when one day when it becomes $100, then you get the business. Srila Prabhupada says. So each time you chant Hare Krishna, each time you regularly hear, right? Chant and hear regularly, you're actually adding. And when it is completed, at that point, then you will be purified completely. So we have to keep on doing it regularly. That's the point. So we will end here. Thank you all so much. Hare Krishna. You all have a wonderful day in Krishna consciousness. I will see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Tonight in Chaitanya Charitamrita, if not tomorrow.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. I missed when you called. I was just away for a couple of minutes near the phone. Sorry. No problem.
I'm sorry, you missed your turn.
Yeah. That's okay, Mataji. I was just letting you know that I was away at that time. I got another office call, so I just went down. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
Mataji.
Hare
Thank you. Hare Krishna.